this school on Friday, 23rd of September 2022. So, today was I can't even tell if there was war without the despair, or despair without the war. But I went to the female head of year break time today despite what I said, because protesting, I guess. And I just stood there for however long, 10 minutes, I think. Because she was doing 2 C2s, trying to talk to another year 14, and also 3 year 13s on top of me, all at the same time. So she sent the year 13s in the room. The people doing the C2s were also in the room, and the year 14 was brought to another room. I waited a while, decided to put a note on the year 13's left, and decided to put a note on the teacher's desk. I did the same thing a little bit later, but then I noted, because I thought that she just went away, because I blinked and she was gone. But it turns out she was in another room, so I waited, and eventually we were talking. I said, right, so what are you here for? And no, sorry, she said, so how are you? I said, not good. Why? Because of what happened, the stuff that you already know. Explain it to me again, and I did. Okay, so on top of that, what else? Like, why are you here? She said that in a more nice way. And I said that we were supposed to meet, but you were gone away. Oh, right. So, now we're meeting. Monday, period 3. She said, but I remember last time you were saying something about personal statements, and it, like, the last thing I remember about us interacting at all about all that was you told me not to use the UCAS website. Why would I say that? I don't know. And I should switch the subject to, you said you didn't want to do university. No, I said I can't do university. Why? Because I'm based. I didn't actually use the word based, but because she doesn't know the definition of that word, at least in that context. But, explain to her my politics, to imply, man, but universities, they all everyone's politics. UC Berkeley. But are you planning on UC Berkeley? Nope. There you go, all universities the same. No, they're not. The reason why my voice sounds different while I'm doing her voice, because I'm laying in my bed, and I kind of want to go to sleep, so I'm lying on my arm while I'm doing her voice. So, like, if I said fine, if I'm just gonna stand up, or not stand up, but just sit instead of lie. I'm gonna move my stuff from the chair. So, said fine, if you're not gonna accept the fact that I can't get in because of my politics, I'll give you a reason that you can't deny. It's too hard for me here. I'm barely scraping by here. How the hell do you expect me to survive uni? And then, oh, but you're doing great. It's just, you need to, something, I don't remember. Sorry, there's a bunch of crap all around my chair, and I really need to hoover it. But, it's wait, so, the problem is, sorry about that. The problem is that you're only looking at my results, so all you're seeing is C for moving image. Sorry again. E for English. And nothing for media because we don't do an exam in year 13. So, you're thinking that I'm doing best in media and worst in English when it's the opposite. I'm doing best in English and worst in media. You just don't know that because you're only looking at the results. And I was just like, oh, you need to be more confident. In fact, you know what? We're going to have a talk. So, it's going to be me, her, probably my mum. Don't know why I said that so weird. Probably my mum. And the head of years from year 11 and 12. Going to have a talk, and the way that no matter what way this conversation goes, it's inevitable that it's going to end in everyone bar me agreeing that it would be best for my physical and mental health if I were to just leave the school, just period. Because I explained to her about how I'm not here for the subjects, and I didn't explain the Despair War because she didn't give me the chance, but I did mention it. I'm too busy doing prefects when I told you don't make me a prefect. And you can't just say, oh well, everyone else is prefect, because there's not, I'm the only one that's fighting a war. Well, I said 2 wars, but I didn't actually get to explain because, I need to explain that the Civil War is over and we're just in the Despair War. And also the fact that me and Jack agreed to end the Civil War so that I could fight the Despair War. But anyway, I had mentoring after that. I explained the situation to the miss, and she's like, no, we will never suggest you leave the school. Really, even if you'll believe that it will, if not seriously injure me, just outright kill me from stress. And also the fact that I'm sick, constantly. No, we're not gonna do that. But, I mean, it's me we're talking about, so nothing good ever happens. In English. Sorry, not. Yeah, I'll talk about English, I guess. We still didn't do anything about those articles. And I asked my mate if he got one. He said no. But instead, it was her ranting about something, I forget what. And then she started talking about The Walking Dead, which just really pissed me off because she loved it. She loved it up until the last season, when I might have if I never read the comics, because when you read the comics and you go back to the show is just terrible because, I'm going to talk about season 2 of the show. Season 2 was the one on Herschel's farm. Basically all of it. First episode was them discovering Herschel on his farm. And then the last episode was them leaving the farm for good. Because the walkers took over. I think it's been a while. So that was the entire season, which was 13 episodes, I think. Maybe 16. All about 40 minutes each. So that's a long time in the morning. I know most people didn't like season 2. But I've seen seasons 1, 2, and 3, the first episode of 4, maybe the first couple episodes of 4, and from the death of a black character who wasn't in the comics, I think Tyrone, up until the end of the season before All Out War. And from watching all that, and it's not that I skipped a season or two, it's my parents. I think it's because I was kept on talking about the Walking Dead game because I was playing and loved it and all. It's like, oh, you want to watch the show? Yeah, sure. And that was the episode that Tyrone, if that's the correct character, died. And we watched it until the end of the season before All Out War, and we stopped watching it because we all said it was getting crap. Well, sorry, both my parents said. I didn't. I went back to season 1, 2, 3, first couple episodes 4, and I realized the quality has been the same all throughout. It's always been crap. Because I know this is a big rant, which is a bit hypocritical considering I was talking about how the teacher was ranting, but as I said, I'm not going to do the math. Someone else can do it. 16 episodes times 40 minutes is the amount of time that they spent in the farm. In the comics, it was like 1 or 2 issues. Like, episode 1, adapted issue 1, issue, the entirety of season 2, adapted issue 6. Like, Shane died in issue 6 at the farm. They went there and they left almost immediately. So I just don't like people talking about it because I hate it. Like, they could have done a much better adaptation of the comics that was on pace. I mean, yeah, there are some good things that the show did, like Daryl and Meryl. They don't exist in the comics. And I think that's it. Oh, and also about the show, I never would have read the comics, and also about the show, the games wouldn't exist, but still, sucks. But after she stopped ranting, we have a PowerPoint thing to do. She says that it's not a presentation, it's group teaching, I think she called it. So, we're all, well, not all, there were 6 subjects, and there are 8 of us, I think. So, the first subject is Cormac McCarthy in general, who is the author of The Road, which is the book that we're doing. Then the other subjects are the Great Depression, World War II, 9/11, the Cold War, and climate change. I said to the teacher, I don't care what you give me, but don't make it climate change. Give me anything with climate change. But then the person that picked Cormac McCarthy said, oh, can I work with him, please, miss? He's really good at researching. I'm terrible at researching. But you're always getting the facts from this. That's just a simple Google search. Like, for this, it's not as simple as that. And we're still working with, still, I did want to do Cormac McCarthy because I've already technically done the research. Because we were supposed to do a presentation about it like last week or 2 weeks ago, but the teacher forgot. Anyway, in media, exact same thing as Wednesday. I'm not gonna give any opinion. Like, these aren't my opinions, but I believe that trans women are real women. And he said a couple things that were so close to being correct, it hurts. It's like, he hates lad culture because it's sexist. Like, yeah, lad culture is crap, but it's not because it's sexist. Yeah, that's everything. This Twitter as if 11 past 6 p.m. Right, Meghan Markle exposed for what? The British hit Meghan. You just hit black people, or you just hit Americans. And I'm like, shut up. I don't care about the royal family. I'm not speaking as a British person or a person who cares about the royal family, because I'm British, but I don't care about the royal family. I'm not speaking as either one of those, like, groups. I'm speaking as a person. We, the British, don't hate Meghan Markle because she's disrespect. Well, would do, but for me, it's because she made her husband a simp. Like, possibly the biggest simp. Like, you know, leave the royal family or no sex. And he left. Between sex and being in the royal family, and it's not just giving up sex altogether, it's giving up sex with this one particular person. Between those two, I'd rather be a member of the royal family. That's Tris, Bojo, despite the fact Bojo's gone, but you know how they are. Wait, what? Why are the bunch of boomers? Like, is the Guardian only just discovered Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? Like, how old is Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared? It's got to be at least 10 years. No, I'm more than a. So it's 12 years old, but it turns out that they're now on Channel 4. I don't know if it's Channel 4 just playing the originals or they're making new ones, because I don't watch Don't Help Me I'm Scared and I'm not really interested in YouTube shows. Anyway, maybe you got rid of that. Well, yes, Chrome, you get some Joy Toys in your deck. I don't get this reference. A serious disease that gives you super strength and kills you instantly. But strangely, it seems to be in police. Seems to be people in police custody who catch it the most. Excited delirium. Canada strongly supports people who are expressing themselves and protesting peacefully in Iran. We're calling on the Iranian regime to end its repression, freedom of expression, and so yeah, go on, Justin. You pretend like the trucking stuff didn't happen. Anyway, to end the ongoing harassment of and discrimination against women. Right, so I'm glad that we're now focusing on women's rights in Iran and places like just the Middle East in general, because I'm tired of like feminists and feminist esque people talking about women's oppression here, and just ignore Roe v. Wade for a goddamn second, right? Because I've been I've never actually publicly expressed it before, but I've been thinking about it since like 2017. When I first got politically active. Okay, that's probably not the correct term, but when I first got interested in politics, I guess, you know, people talking about women being oppressed here and in America, when, but they refuse to talk about the oppression of women in the Middle East, probably because they don't want to be labeled Islamophobic. But I'm glad we're talking about it now. But Justin is just a hypocrite. He was the one calling all the truckers Nazis. Trying to get him to stop. Never ever shut up about the outrage of lockdown and vaccine mandates. Let it forever be remembered as the shameful moment in history it truly was. PayPal's censorship marks a vicious new phase in the war on free speech. It's real nice for them to start talking about this now, about 5 years after PayPal started doing it to the original canaries in the coal mine.
Den ene har vært drept I dag, 1. mai. Vingen kappa av turbinbladene.
I think she's talking in a foreign language I can't really tell. You know, either that or her accent's just thick. There's really no point in watching this. I wonder what goes through the mind of an eco-fanatic when they see this beautiful bird with its wing missing due to wind farms. They couldn't care less about power. They don't really give a crap about the environment. Yeah, people always talk about the environment. It's like, oh, we need to stop using fossil fuels. We need to use wind turbines, as if that's even, as if that's any better. Next James Bond films will have bigger roles for women and a more sensitive 007, according to the producer. She said Bond is evolving just as men are evolving. I don't like this. Like, I feel like the whole point of the Bond movies is... The Bond movie... Right. This is gonna sound... bad. The Bond movies should never change. Like, they should all be the same. Like, you want to do this, do it with some other movie. Make your own franchise. Don't touch Bond. But I mean, bigger roles for women. 007 had a big role in No Time to Die. For people that didn't watch No Time to Die, Bond is not 007 in No Time to Die because he retired and a woman took over the role. And she did have quite a big role. Yes, this is what we need. A depressed emo Bond, just like the Batman, which was utterly dreadful. Alright. Paul does not like superhero movies, like, at all. Like, there are some, like, people like Carl, not really a fan of superhero movies, but there are some that he enjoys. Paul doesn't like them at all. What the hell is he doing watching the Batman? And I mean, like, you don't like superhero movies, fine, but like the Batman, you didn't like it? Like, other than not enjoying superhero movies, why did you not like it? I want to read the comments on this. I'm not gonna read all 100 and however many there was. Right, no, don't talk about No Time to Die. No Time to Die was great. Yeah, it had its problems, but like they ended it well. Like, killing him off, not having him be invincible or anything like that. And it was just, don't touch No Time to Die. Started watching Batman another day. We're like, what the hell is this? Turned off within 45 minutes. What is the problem? Like, I seen the Batman in, I don't remember when. Right, if it came out in March, I would have seen it in April. So we'll say April. So, point is, it's been a while. But I don't remember there being anything political about the movie. Like, what is people's problem? Yeah, so now we're getting into the comments. But okay, I wasn't really here, but there were some more that was like, you were talking about how great the movie was, and yeah, it is. I left a comment. I said, I said, one, you don't like superhero movies, so why'd you watch it in the first place? And two, other than it being a superhero movie, what was wrong with it? Because, I mean, at this point, he's just starting to sound like my dad. You know, I'd tell him, don't watch this, because, like, say Squid Game. He was planning on watching Squid Game, and I was telling him, you're not going to like Squid Game, because there's another show on Netflix called Alice in Borderland that I seen. My dad's seen it as well. He didn't like it, and I'm trying to tell him, since you don't like Alice in Borderland, you won't like Squid Game. This is like the only time that he listened to me, but you know, you get the point. Paul, oh, I don't like superhero movies. Proceeds to watch a superhero movie. Oh, I didn't like it. Doesn't matter whether you're flogging counterfeit goods or counterfeit journalism. PayPal obviously has the right to shut you down. Not just people whose politics you disapprove of, James. PayPal has also demonetized left-wing accounts. Why should a private corporation be the arbiter of who can and can't express their views in the public square? As a left-winger, surely you recognise the problem. The continued success of Rumble really is a massive white pill. Follow me on there here. Follow the second channel here. PayPal is a private company. It can ban whoever it wants. It's regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, which mandates all firms must be able to show consistently the fair treatment of customers as a business model. So maybe not, we'll see. There's a world of difference between banning someone for money laundering and banning someone for misgendering a drag queen on Twitter. We're going to find out where that line is. HSBC is a private company. It can ban whoever it wants. Leftists smugly assert on Twitter as you're unable to pay your mortgage due to your last bank account being shut down before your house is repossessed and you're on the street freezing to death begging for handouts. Shouldn't have misgendered that drag queen then, should you, extremist?
We'll see. If things go in a difficult direction, I've spoken about Hungary and Poland. We have tools. If things go in the right direction, and people, as a body that is always, where always governments have to be accountable to, play an important role. We'll see. If things...
She's literally threatening to impose sanctions on countries that democratically elect leaders the EU doesn't like. They already did it in Hungary. The EU is a totalitarian outrage. Governments have to be accountable. Unlike the EU, which is a dictatorial, unelected body accountable to no one. In the name of promoting diversity, ruling Greens in the German city of Hanover plan to ban a third native citizens from applying for government jobs so that they can be given to migrants. I already read out this tweet. Progressivism is about cultural homogenization. Everything must be crushed into the same Marvel movie, girl, boss, queer, theory, lecture, grey goo. Right, no, stop talking crap about Marvel movies. Like, what these people who don't like the Marvel movies fail to recognize is that the Marvel fans don't really like the Marvel movies anymore. Like, people who love the MCU, they haven't really liked much in MCU, like the 2023 MCU. Like, right, let's go over everything that the MCU released in 2022. Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, Miss Marvel, Thor, and She-Hulk. There's also Grit, but no one seemed to watch it because, it's short. So, out of all those, the only thing that people seemed to have liked was Moon Knight. Now, I liked all of them. Some of them I even loved. But point is, like, Marvel is very, very close to dying. Like, we're just holding on to the hope that films like the next two Avengers movies, which come out in 2025, are good. But I mean, there's not much politics in Marvel anymore. Like, out of all those things, but Moon Knight has Muslims in it, but it doesn't really talk about Islam that much. In fact, more to do with Egyptian gods than Muslims. Doctor Strange, yeah, she is a trans flag pin and her parents are lesbian. That scene was very short, and it's a very small pin that I only noticed in one scene. Like, ignore what your man from Lotus Eater said. It's Marvel, it's all about Muslims. Okay, yeah, there is quite a bit of politics in there, but I don't know what, like, most of it was about in the 40s and something to do with the train. I assume that's when the British pulled out. I don't know much about it, and I didn't really care, so I still enjoyed the show. 4. Natalie Portman called it the gayest Marvel movie, and she meant that as a good thing, when there isn't that much. Like, Valkyrie flirts with a couple of women. Yeah, you could argue that Jane is a girl boss, but it's not the same as Captain Marvel, where Captain Marvel is basically, you can kill an entire species of people as long as you're a girl boss while doing it. That doesn't really happen in 4. Groot. There's no politics in Groot. Oh, sorry, no, there was a little bit where he grows leaves, and he starts to cut those leaves into, like, different shapes, and one of the shapes was a dress. But other than that, there was no politics in Groot, and even then, I seem like the only person that actually watched the show. She-Hulk, yeah, there is a lot of politics in that, and it's the first time that I've called a Marvel show all right. Like, I've called all the others good. The first one I called all right. So, point is, you don't know anything about the Marvel movies. Shut up about them. At this point, they're still mainstream, but people don't really like them anymore. You should have said something like Euphoria or Heartstopper. You would have had a better point than that. Hell, Doctor Who. Would have more point saying Doctor Who than you would have Marvel. Anyway, doesn't matter what your movie's technically about, just that it's a different branding of rapper on the same state-mandated ideology. r/weird, not sure what to say about this one. This trans woman is a high school teacher and dresses like this school, although distracting everyone, is scared to say something for obvious reasons. Reddit moment. While PayPal banned an anti-pedophilia group, a pro-pedophilia group remains able to do business via the platform. He is threatening to punish Italy for electing a right-wing coalition government. How dare they democratically elect people the EU doesn't like? The sheer nerve. Didn't you seal the bank accounts of protesters a few months ago? That's what I was talking about, the truckers. I didn't know I actually did. I thought he was just threatening to do it, and I completely forgot about that bit. 26 results for political violence. 0 results for Kygler Ellings, and I don't know who this person is. 20 New York Times stories over the past month mentioning political violence. 0 mentions of this person, the only American who has been murdered in an act of political violence in that time.